There's lots of amazing things to see in only the first month of school. One of these things is the interchange you're about to witness as 200 kids find new spots in much more efficient ways than anything we've ever seen at 87 and 101 North. As they find pathways and work together. We just keep talking about this, together we're better, and we can find ways, we can find solutions to make everything work, despite a small and sort of crowded hall with not the right sight lines, the right stages, the right lighting. We find a way to put together a concert for you because they're the success. They're the ones that are committed to listening and to learning and to trying their very best. They're really wonderful young people, and it's just so great to get to work with them again and see them in this phase of their lives. We talked a little bit about what it's like to be a 6th grader when you come to Castillero, what it's like to become a 7th grader and no longer that new kid, transitioning to the 8th grader and feeling like such a leader, and then going and becoming a freshman, very different role in comparison to those seniors, and acclimating, becoming sophomores, juniors, and then that senior year, getting ready for that big transition for all of us, parents and students alike. And to see those roles changing after year of performing here in this concert is really terrific. I would like to just quickly acknowledge these different folks. We do have one 6th grader, so she's going to get a lot of applause for one person. So we have a little 6th grader with us here today, and you might not be able to see her, but she'll put her bow up a little bit. Give me a round of applause. What a big night. In her first year in middle school, 1 month later, here she is on stage for all these people. 7th graders, would you either stand up, and if you're already standing, put your bows up. So 7th graders, stand up and put your bows up. And then our Castillero leadership here of all of these wonderful 8th graders. If you're sitting, stand up. Otherwise, put your bow up. We can see all these wonderful 8th graders. Just 3 months ago, we're relying on the 8th graders to be those leaders, and they've taken those roles, and they're so proud of the work they do. It's wonderful to see. And then those folks that graduated and are now freshmen, if you would stand up or put your bows in the air, freshmen. Sophomores, stand on up or raise your bows, sophomores. Juniors, stand on up. Those of the AP classes, and the juniors, the big juniors are juniors. And then the graduating class of 2025. Could you please stand up? Seniors, raise your bows or stand up. Nice to celebrate, see all these transitions. We're in this all together. We all go through these stages. You'll remember the first day your oldest went to middle school. You'll remember the first day your oldest went to high school. You probably remember when your oldest went to TK or kindergarten. We all do these things together, and it's just great to see where they're going because the future is bright. We're now in our large orchestra. We're going to start with a piece by Newbold. I'm going to give the microphone back over to Mr. Jelani. Please welcome him to the stage.
I'm a big imagery guy, so a lot of times when I'm teaching songs, I give different images of what could be thought of or perceived as we play. And American Landscape works really well for me as a young man that grew up in the Midwest, Milwaukee actually. I see my Packers fan right there. So every year I get back home and I love getting that window seat and getting to literally fly over America and see the landscape, going from the Great Lakes to the plains, getting to see the continental divide of the Rocky Mountains, and making our way to beautiful California. I mean, there's a reason I've been here for 17 years now, so I love being here. So I invite you to think of your last plane trip across the United States as we perform for you, American Landscape. Coming back to the stage, representing the great high school pioneer, Ms. Lara Levy.
I just want to thank again Scott for doing all of this. You're kind of like the keystone species here, that we're all like building off of your passion and your drive and your vision. So thank you again for hosting us, proposing that we do this concert. It's a really great way to start our year. So again, thank you and thank you again.
Before we finish our show tonight, we have one last tune. We started with Mozart. We're ending with Mozart. It was, we started with this final symphony. We're going to start with the 25th Symphony, which was made famous by the movie Amadeus, named after Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. But before we do this, doesn't just take the three of us teachers, it takes a lot of folks to get all this together. Our orchestra rep here is Miss Sharon, and she led an army of volunteers with all the different setup, the food, the management of inside the indoor commons, the management of the outdoor commons, media center, jazz band room. I'd like to just give her a huge round of applause, as well as all of the volunteers. Seemingly supplies me with an endless supply of coffee, which is much appreciated on these long days. We also have my colleague, Mr. Bowman, here. Every time we do a concert, we have to open up this wall, and this is where he teaches every day, and this wall becomes a place that helps him teach. So there's all sorts of stuff that he has to spend time working and moving, and he has a great crew of his students in band that help with that. He's here tonight. He's got a kiddo playing in the orchestra. Please thank you to Mr. Ron Bowman for all that he does. Quick shout out again to all of our staff and admin. We do a lot of Castillero, certainly a lot more than your average sort of program, especially at this age. And they're so supportive, they're so kind. Our support staff, all of our secretaries, do so much work. So for all of our staff that are here tonight, we have Miss O'Connor, Miss Tomlinson, as well as our three admin, Mr. Jones, Miss Silva, and Miss Campbell, and then all of our secretaries who have been helping throughout the whole day as we do all of our dress rehearsals here live. Big round of applause for all Castillero staff. Randomly fun is that my mom was retired a couple years ago, and she still has students here, so it's just Miss McAllister. She was at Hoover Middle School, so if you were at Hoover with Miss McAllister on stage, can you raise your bow? Are there still a few? Oh my gosh, there are a few of you still here. So she's here tonight. I'm sure she'd love to see you. She's right over there. Miss McAllister. Last year or the year before, but she retired during the COVID year because it was so hard, and she was certainly, she had the energy to keep going, but when the pandemic hit, we just couldn't do anything that we could do before, and it was such a learning curve with such little results. It was just such a hard time. She got to retire, but she didn't get to say goodbye, so it's been really fun every time we have these concerts to reconnect with you. So if you want to go take a selfie with her, I think she knows what that is. And she'd be happy to see you and hear about how your high school journey's been and where you might be going next year. Always really fun to reconnect with our old teachers. So we're going to play one more tune, and then we're going to turn this back into our indoor commons. Our custodial staff works very hard, and so we support them by putting things away. I'll explain how that works, and then we'll make sure that all the instruments are safe. So our final selection, this is from Mozart's 25th Symphony, the first movements. for our encore. It involves great chairs, lots of stands, and happy people. These are great kids. You're doing a really great job. Thanks for bringing them into the world of music. Thanks for supporting them from the earliest sounds to the sound you just heard. It's exciting because this is just month 1. We've got more concerts on the horizon. Concerts at Lincoln, concerts at Pioneer, concerts here at Castillero. We're excited to enjoy all of those with you and all of your friends and family. One more round of applause for your great kids.